What's up? We're back, baby.
We're back. I feel like I want like an entrance word. I've been saying hiya the last two. That doesn't feel right, but
Like wubba lubba dub dub or something. Not
I don't
that.
think that. But hey, y'all.
What's up?
Thanks for tuning in. To We Don't Know Anything.
We're back, baby. We don't know anything.
Podcast where two people in love
Don't know ish.
don't know shit.
Before we get into anything, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife. She made homemade. We had way too many lemons for some reason.
Well, because I started to do morning like rituals every morning, and when we started to do lemon water,
Big ritual girl over here.
and it was awesome. And then after the first bag fell off it, and then the lemons started to go bad, which I didn't even know lemons could go bad. So I was like, what do you do when life gives you lemons? What do you do?
What do you do? She made delicious lemonade, and I'm so pumped.
It's really easy to make, y'all. I'll tell you, 6.
Oh, do that. Well, you can say it now, but that could be a
reel.
A reel, yeah.
The only thing is I'll need to buy more lemons.
Buy another sack of lemons.
It's 6 lemons squeezed.
Juice the hell out of them.
We have a juicer, like a handheld juicer.
Juice the snot out of them.
6 cups water, 1 cup sugar. Mix it.
Who would have thunk?
It's a lot of sugar, but it tastes good, so whatever.
Yeah, so
Glad
it's so good. Hers is actually it's a NA. It's a non-alcoholic. I commend her. Mine
because
no,
we
because she has to wake up early in the morning.
Well, that and we shared a whole bottle of champagne at the movie yesterday, and I was feeling not great. So
yeah, we had champagne. We saw a movie last night. Mine does have rum in it though, so someone's got to hold it down.
Obviously.
Someone's got to fucking kill it.
And he'll still probably finish his drink before I do today. So I need to rewind back to last week. We were talking about names.
And
I talked about how China was a continent. And I just want to like asterisk that I know it's not a continent. It's a country.
It's a country. In what continent?
Asia.
Very good.
Thank you. So before you comment
before you say
that I'm an idiot, before you cancel me online.
Before you say she doesn't know anything.
Hey, I do know that. I don't know a lot, but I know that.
Yeah, that was in the last episode. Names, check that out. We had this insane tangent on the last episode, which ironically we're doing the same thing in this episode.
Yeah.
But we were talking about China, like the dishes.
Yeah.
Shout out China dishes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this week, so a few weeks ago, I posted on my social just like, what are some topics you want to hear about? And like, hands down, most people said
conspiracy theories.
And I feel like we kind of touch on conspiracy theories like every episode.
Several times. We've talked about mermaids, the moon landing,
piratey things,
some pirate stuff. Yeah, I think just like in modern day society, there's so many intriguing conspiracies that naturally we just make our way down that road from time to time. So we might as well do a whole episode about it.
We're going to need at least 2 because there was so many things.
There's also so many silly.
Can I just say a precursor? 2 precursors.
Hit me with 2 precursors.
First of all, the internet is made up by you and me. Y'all. So when you're really like digging into these conspiracies or just like anything you see online,
viewer beware.
Try to just like remember that like it's like people in their bedrooms just like spewing shit, you know? Looking into this, first of all, I feel like my algorithm's gonna be so screwed up now because we were looking into like so many different conspiracy theories.
It's gonna be a dark algorithm.
But like I'm not saying yes or no to any of this because anything is possible, 100%. And like, take it all with a grain of salt a little bit because
sure.
I feel like people could just get on a big spiral about this. And really like, unless you, my rule always is like, if I hear it or see it with my own eyes, or if I hear it with my ears, like, then I believe it. Otherwise, like, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, for sure.
We saw Shane Gillis the other day.
He always does that. Yeah. We saw Shane Gillis at
Emily.
It was fun.
He's a comedian. So
Can
anyways,
go
that's my
see it.
first precursor. My second one, we're not really talking about this to prove them right or wrong. We're just saying what we've seen online. And that's just to put you in the know of what's going on if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, for anyone who's ready to be like, or like, yeah, I agree. This is just, we're just observing. We're not necessarily supporting any theories.
No uh-uhs or uh-huhs.
Yeah, just watch it and enjoy. Comment below if you want to say anything, but just know that we're just curious observers.
Yeah.
That's all. And we really don't know anything.
We really don't.
So
shout
out to my floppy lemon here.
Could you give us the definition of conspiracy theory?
Oh, yeah.
Before we get started, let's define it.
Oh, I screenshot it.
You did, yeah.
So I don't know if it's like the Webster's dictionary definition, but it's kind of cool. It apparently says, while there's no universally accepted definition of what a conspiracy theory is, a good guideline is that a conspiracy, and thus a conspiracy theory, involves a group of people doing secretive things that infringe on the rights of others or put them at a disadvantage. So I was confused by that because I was mixing up like myths and legends with conspiracy theories. So things like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and all that stuff don't technically qualify as a conspiracy theory. FYI. So this is strictly conspiracy theories, and apparently it needs to be something that infringes on the rights of others? Question mark. I guess that tracks. All the things we've looked up, it's all shady ass shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So that's what it is.
Conspiracy theories go way back to 1863 when Charles Astor Bristed first used the term. And he used it in an article to describe the British weakening the U.S. during the war, the Civil War. Basically, obviously, what he was saying was just like his thoughts. So that's why it was a conspiracy theory. It wasn't necessarily like truth. Yeah,
the very like definition of a theory, it's not true. It's just like,
or it could be.
It
could be.
Yeah, exactly. It could be true, but it's not proven. It's not proven.
Yeah. So that was like the first. And conspiracies predate way before that. However, there was one where George Washington, who was our first president, if you didn't know, we're always just trying to teach you guys things on here.
First President George Washington, shout out. He had wooden teeth.
Crazy, y'all.
He also had the teeth of like animals and like slaves, apparently.
Yeah, it's bad.
So it's actually wild.
It's actually really bad. We've like dug into his teeth like many times because it's just insane.
It'll just be like a cozy night on the couch, and we'll be like, "Remind me again, what were GW's teeth made of?"
Again.
Yeah.
So gross. So that should be like a scary movie. But anyways, his bodyguards were apparently potentially plotting against him back when he was president.
That barely feels like I guess it's a theory because it wasn't proven, but like I could absolutely see that.
Probably.
Because they're probably getting maybe like potentially theory, maybe like paid off by like a British.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's an unsure thing at that point, trying to overthrow the government. Mm-hmm. I might even be like, yo, what side should I take? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the money's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Then we have the ass of Lincoln, the assassination.
She's abbreviating assassination as ass.
Ass for all these presidents. The assassination of Lincoln, which they say was a part of a bigger plan to bring back the Confederacy by eliminating all of the key federal officials.
Interesting. Well, people that opposed the Confederate agenda.
No, people that wanted the Confederate agenda to go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying to eliminate people that opposed the Confederate agenda. Mm-hmm. That too, again, not proven. The tracks.
Well, and Slex made a good point where, like, how did Booth just like walk in?
How did he
shoot him in the head?
I know it was like the 1800s, so shit was mad loose, but still, like at that point, Lincoln was like an extremely like important asset to the US and the Union and all that. So he just like glided in there. He just moonwalked into the booth. Well, it was also they were at a play, right?
Yeah, but you didn't have guards?
Yeah, there's
for the
one.
president?
You know, it's like he's up in the presidential suite or whatever in the balcony, and so there's probably one entrance. It's not like there's a bunch of entrances. Yeah, how did he slink in there? Maybe he did like pull like a John McClane from Die Hard, and he went through the rafters. Maybe.
Why would there be rafters?
No, probably
They
not.
didn't have
He went through
air.
the HVAC system. Maybe. Comment below. Did John Wilkes Booth crawl through the HVAC system
Yeah.
to get?
What do you know about
Comment
it?
below.
Then we have the assassination of President Garfield,
Garfield the cat.
who knew we had a President Garfield?
I knew
didn't-
that. Garfield the cat's named after President Garfield.
Is it?
Yeah. He looked a lot like a big fat cat.
So he was shot by a guy who he didn't give a job to, who wanted a job. Then he was
Do you know
rushed,
what the job was? Just like
No.
on his like
whatever.
what? Okay.
Then he went to the hospital and died a few days later, but they say that the medical treatment was poor and that was like on purpose to like kill him.
Do you think that maybe the shooter's like homie was like the doctor or something? Or it was a bigger
Or like he was shot and then the medical team separately also like wanted him dead. I don't know.
and maybe the shooter like was a pawn in a bigger thing.
Yeah.
It always seems like some poor schlub has to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
Because they're it's always in movies. They're always like promised something by like, the
They're
people
down and out.
They're down and out. They're promised something, then they get, they take all the heat, and
Yep.
the people behind the scenes, they win.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Then we have of course, the most famous, well-known, the assassination of President Kennedy.
Yikes.
It's interesting because looking at this, there was actually a lot of evidence that the CIA kind of made up. Like there wasn't actually legitimate evidence to arrest Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oswald, nice babe. Yeah, because Booth was. Yeah, you're right.
And they like, you were talking about how like there's videos showing that like the way that like the position of where he was to the shot that he made, like the chances were really slim. And like the CIA was making up evidence. There was like, they were saying that he had gone to the Soviet, but the person that was in the Soviet saying that they were him with his name wasn't him. There were phone calls recorded of him like talking about what he was planning to do, but the phone calls were like a woman's voice or something. Like it
didn't sound like him.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of weird, sketchy evidence that they had to arrest him. And the three main reasons of why they would want him dead were because he kind of gave away Cuba in the Bay of Pigs. They were scared that Vietnam would fall to communism, or that he would let Vietnam fall to communism like Cuba. And then he also fired a lot of the CIA officials. So
Interesting.
they think that they just wanted him.
He wasn't liked by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Ironically, he was also liked by a lot of people. I feel like he was
Because he was hot.
just like a handsome little devil.
You know, he was like, yes, out of all of the presidents, like, sure, he was like the most attractive,
He's a
but
handsome
like
fella. He's not as hot as Garfield
the cat.
or Calvin Coolidge.
I don't know what any
You
of
want
them
to
look
talk
like.
hot presidents?
I have one look in my head for presidents, and it's like overweight, old,
white
white
powdered
hair.
wig.
Not the powdered wig, but just like
I have one. You're literally right.
Kinda.
You're pretty much covering about 80% of presidents.
probably more than that, probably like
Yeah.
95.
Also, there was. Can I talk about JFK real quick?
Yeah, of course.
When I was in high school, my history teacher dedicated. His name was Mr. Trusky. He was hilarious and he was super fun. He dedicated way too much time to the JFK theory. He was super into it. So this should have been maybe a week. We dedicated like 3 weeks to like learning about the theory, and he was super into like the grassy knoll theory, where there was like suspicious people on the grassy knoll that might have been the actual assassins. And apparently,
what do you mean they were sketchy or shady?
I forget exactly how they came about, but I think some people came forward that like there were like people in like suits that kind of looked like maybe they had ties to government, were on this grassy knoll, which had a really good vantage point of the motorcade, like the route that JFK was taking. And also apparently the trajectory from that area would make way more sense to how he was hit. But anyways, Trusky talked about that like so much. And then he also talked about like the bullet theory, where like, yeah, the location of Oswald's shooting area doesn't really add up geometrically. Like technically it could have worked, but it was kind of a far-fetched thing. So there's a lot of super shady shit going on with that. But also it's like, who's going to like, how are you going to investigate it? How are you going to prove it? And, you know, it's like also like, I'm sure people were, if anyone knew about it, if it happened, you'd be afraid to. Because if JFK, the most powerful person in the U.S., gets killed, what's stopping you from dying if you're trying? You know what I mean?
I'm sure a bunch of people got killed around that time if it was actually what they say it was.
Yeah, it seems like it's probably, if you're up, if you're in a place of like a position of power like that high, there's probably so much stuff that you need to, that you like can't say shit about. I don't know. That's scary.
It's like I'm nosy, so I want to know everything, but at the same time, I don't like to tell everybody everything I know. So I would probably like find out.
You'd be gone in a week,
and then I'd have to tell
you can't
you at least.
Yeah.
I'd have to. Like when you get like the presidential, whatever, like the secret messages that like they whisper in each other's ear when they like cross over to the next president and they tell them everything that they know.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you'd tell me immediately.
I'd have to come home and be like, babe, you'll never guess what I found out today. Aliens are real.
You'll see. You'll never guess who's a lizard person.
Yeah.
But that's
foreshadowing.
That's for later in the episode. Anyways.
So yeah, that's JFK. Then so let's leave the presidents behind for a second.
Let's
talk about flat earthers.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Am I talking flat earthers?
You are.
We were watching. So if for those of you who don't know, like there's a group of people who believe that the Earth is not a globe shape; it is flat. So there is like an ending to the horizon, and then it just like drops off. I actually don't know.
Well, no, they think there's an ice wall.
Oh yeah.
With armed guards.
Is that the whole group believes that is what it is?
That's because it's this video I watched.
When you get to like the North or South Pole, it's ice walls, and it's guarded by the government. That's insanity.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we were listening to this kind of like video, this podcast about this one of the most publicized cases that kind of, what's the guy's name that started the flat Earth like theory? Did we write it? No. Whatever if we didn't write it. But apparently their whole thing is like they're basing it all off the senses, and it's like what you can see, and they don't really like take into, or they dismiss other factors, like other proven scientific factors, such as like the refraction of light and like gravity and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, my take on it, I don't know too much about it, but my take is like it can be disproven by like a physicist or some type of biologist. It can be disproven in like 1 second.
There's also like they've done experiments where if you buy a level, like a leveler that you would build things with, on a plane, they're saying that if the Earth is round, the plane would have to be kind of flying with a downward tilt of the snout the whole time.
So the level should
move.
Yeah.
But like if you've ever been in an airplane, you're never flying with your snout halfway down. Like it balances out because of gravity and because of like all of the things. So that's void, basically.
I don't know. So I don't know the extent of gravity, and I think maybe this is a little bit out of our scope scientifically, but I think that theory might work if we were on a smaller planet. Like, say you're on like a planet that like you could see the end of the planet and how it's curving. Then if you're like, you probably would see some type of movement in the level. But I think because the planet's so massive, the curvature is so incremental, you might not see the level change. Is that it? Or is it just like solely based off? Oh man, maybe we're out of our scope. Right. Maybe it is a flat Earth.
And they also think that like the sun and moon just like travel over. I don't know where maybe they think it goes under the flat Earth and then back around, because it obviously starts and ends only in one direction.
Or do they think it stops one end and just goes like back and forth, like
but it
seesaw
can't, because
style?
then it would rise.
Oh, it has to rise. Yeah, you're right.
It
It
has
has
to
to rise
go around at some point.
Interesting. What do they think is under the Earth? Do you know?
Probably hell.
It's just
They do believe that heaven is above us, so I'm assuming.
Okay,
hell
so it
below us.
is kind of like religious based a little bit.
I think for some of them, they also. I think the theory is just kind of like stems from this like need of like, kind of like what you said, like just using the senses or using like more relatable, understandable terms to measure things. Whereas like when scientists are talking about like, well, the gravitational pull is like this percentage mixed with this, that's how we know. It's like, but if I can't grasp that, then I don't believe you. Like that kind of.
That's true. It's like a need. It's a need to rationalize something in your mind. So like, yeah, like.
So you just fight it if you don't understand it.
They're super like flat earthers are super. Yeah, like we said, they're dead set on like what you see.
I just killed a fly.
Is fact, and putting faith in these like concepts that are hard to like conceptualize. They kind of dismiss them. Yeah, which is kind of interesting.
Or like not having faith in the government.
Right. Yeah.
Shocker.
But I will say, like, there's actual footage from outside Earth's atmosphere, and you can see the curvature.
Yeah, but if you don't believe that we went to the moon, or you don't believe that
I guess it's like a tiered thing.
Because obviously, every single picture of the Earth ever is round. But
yeah, I mean, I guess if it goes that deep and you don't believe in that, fair enough. I just based off of the theories of gravity we talked about in the space episode, where it's like, in order to orbit like the way we are, and in order to be glued to this Earth by gravity, not even theoretically, it needs to be round, because that's like the whole concept of gravity, that it's like, so the force is so significant that it's not only keeping us from floating away, it's keeping the Earth itself an intact sphere. Maybe? I don't know. I think I'm kind of there.
Right.
I think I'm kind of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm definitely not a scientist, but it's interesting thoughts. Shout out flat earthers. Do your things, guys. I don't necessarily believe in that thing whatsoever, but shout out.
I'm not saying if we believe it or not, remember?
Sorry. That one I'm gonna take the round Earth side. I'm sorry. I'm taking that one. Yeah.
Let's stay where I'm at. So next we have, don't look please at my thing.
Oh, sorry. I'm excited.
Next we have the Illuminati. Yeah.
Yikes. By the way, sorry to cut you off, babe. If you can't reach us after this episode comes out,
we're clones.
Yeah, you know what happened. We're clones.
There's obviously so much that goes into the Illuminati. Obviously, we've all heard about it, just talked about in movies.
No, some people haven't. What is it?
Yeah, of course. So way back in 1422, the Rosicrucians, were a secret society that possessed. They claimed they possessed ancient wisdom. So similar to what you were saying, like it's a secret society, it's under wraps, you have to be able to be invited in, or however that worked, initiated into the group. They had ancient wisdom. Then in the 16th and 17th centuries, in Spain, there was another Illuminati group that claimed they connected and could speak with God and receive God's message. But again, secretive society. In 1776, there was the Bavarian Illuminati, which opposed superstition, opposed religious influence over public life, and abuses of power of state. So they were kind of like, they weren't what Illuminati is now. Like they were truly just like fighting the higher ups because they didn't agree with like how they were running the state, basically.
Interesting. Okay.
And
it was like it reminds me of like the Knights Templar from Da Vinci Code. You know what I'm talking about? Like a society of like honorable gentlemen. Anyways, continue.
Then they were shut down.
You're talking about the one from the
they were
17?
outlawed.
Okay.
Yeah, shortly after.
They're snuffed.
They wanted to replace Christianity with a religion set on reason and communicated with a secret cipher. So they were like actually like writing like secret notes to each other and stuff.
Yeah, no wonder they were ruled out because they were going against the church.
Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously, like I'm sure there were other moments between 1776 and now, but now it's more of a secret society of politicians, billionaires, stars,
allegedly
celebrities, that created a new world order. They have pentagrams, goats, on the dollar bill. They have the all-seeing eye. Basically, you have to like sell your soul, and you're at their mercy, basically, in order to get fame, money, power, whatever you might crave. There is the idea that this group of people also want to stay young forever, so they drink baby blood.
Gotta do it. Gotta stay young.
So you sell your soul, you drink baby blood, you get famous. It's interesting because there have been celebrities that have spoken out about it, and then people say that they were taken and killed, and now there's a clone of them walking around, so it's not really them. Like Zac Efron apparently tried to talk out against the Illuminati.
When? Really? Oh, okay, yeah.
And
allegedly,
his like terrible jaw moment. No offense, Zach, you're still beautiful, but like he had a bad jaw situation, and they said that they like almost killed him, and then he had that like bad surgery on his jaw, but now he's like looking better. They fixed it. Thank you, plastic surgery. He's looking great again.
Very good.
They also say that they just apparently like go after people. They say that Miley Cyrus is a clone.
Miley?
Yeah.
Why?
Again, because if people
speak out,
act out, they'll get taken out, and then they pop in a clone. Which my question is, why wouldn't they just have them die in like a horrific accident, and then you don't need to have a clone?
That's a good point. Yeah, if you're that powerful, you can make something look, or just pay off authorities to like fake an accident, and then you're all good. Yeah, why would you still want?
Because that person already has all the power. Why miss out on it? Because then you'd have to grow another famous person.
That's
from,
true.
And
just
take
you can
control. You
keep
could just
extracting that power and attention. Yikes is all I can say.
Indeed.
So I wonder when they, hypothetically, if they offed the original Miley, was it during her crazy phase, like with Wrecking Ball, and when she stuck her tongue out a bit?
Maybe. Well, also the thing is, if you put your hand over one eye, then it's like the all-seeing eye. And there was this video of like literally like 100 celebrities all like doing that in pictures. So
it's probably the split second they're rubbing their eye, though.
No, it's like photo shoots. Like they're doing it in photo shoots and stuff. Or you do the triangle in your hands, and that's the all-seeing eye as well. Honestly, I don't think it's that crazy that there would be a group of really powerful people running everything.
It's only inevitable that as you get to a certain point where you've just gained so much power, you're going to want to keep protecting it and keep cultivating it. So whether or not it's like like eternal youth and baby blood drinking. I would not be surprised if there's some type of society for sure. Of course,
there's got to be. There's also like you see the rise and fall of these celebrities, and it almost feels like the celebrities that maybe didn't accept like selling their souls. They only got to a certain place and then they dropped off and like you never heard about them again. And it almost feels like maybe that was. So I watched this Call Her Daddy episode and with Spencer Pratt, who was like back on the hills.
I'm sure I'd recognize him. Okay.
It was like a reality show back when we were growing up, and he married Heidi.
Yeah, sure.
And he talks like outwardly about like how he couldn't be in the Illuminati because he wouldn't sell his soul, but he knows a lot of people that have. So he was like literally saying that it exists. Granted, like he seems a little like wild, so who knows? But there are people that like mention that it exists. So
is the Illuminati? It's pretty much. Is it like a direct? Well, allegedly, of course, a direct tie to like the devil.
They say,
or like an evil entity. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they say that it's like the goat and the pentagram, like that's all like, you know, devil.
Well, it's always like
things.
There's always, you know, when you see it in like whatever you read about it, or there's books or movies, there's always an exchange. It's never just like you can have what you want. You have to, you have to give something in exchange.
It's interesting because they say like Beyonce and Jay-Z are like the head of it, which like they should be if it is a thing. But
the head of no, I feel like the head of it would be like
somebody
Bill
we don't.
Gates.
It would be somebody we don't.
Somebody
know.
you don't even know. Yeah. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. In any movie, like the big dog, like you've never seen their face.
Yeah. But
continue.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Okay.
Like especially Beyonce, like she always thanks God first, always, and so it's like I don't get it.
Is that a facade?
I guess I don't need to get it. But if I were like worshiping the devil to have my fame, I just wouldn't mention God really. I'd just be like, thank you to my family and all my friends.
That might be the diversion.
I guess. But it's like all the time so much, you know? And she's from Texas. She's very sweet. She's always like, thank you, God. She'll like cry.
She might be in the society, but I don't know if she's the head of it. She's not, like you said, it'd be someone you've never heard of.
Yeah.
It'd be like some like just dark.
She could be like the treasurer.
It'd be like it's like remember in what's it called, Ready or Not, like Mr. Dumas. Mm-hmm. It's like some like person you don't even know their first name, like Mr. Black or something, or Mrs. Mrs. What would the name be?
Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
That movie, Mrs. Doubtfire, really, starring Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the Illuminati.
So they also, I watched this other video that this guy was saying that he just left his job and now he's out of his non-disclosure NDA. Yeah. And he worked, apparently, there are tunnels of highways underneath LA. LA was built above the city that has been there for a long time, and celebrities and famous people, whatever, are the only ones allowed to drive on these streets under the ground. And there's like Starbucks and different stores and things.
That's why you never see them like stuck in traffic.
Yeah, you never see them like driving around really. And he said that like, I don't remember who he said. I think it was Seinfeld or something.
Sandler. It was Sandler.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen Sandler? Have I seen Sandler? And then he like names his Starbucks drink, and he's like, oh, do they tip well? And he was like, they don't even pay. So,
wow. But I will say this, that underground tunnel in LA, if it exists, just because you use it doesn't mean you're in the Illuminati. Like, I think that's like a perk if you're like up there, and maybe that's like what they dangle in your face. They're like,
Starbucks.
They're like, you want to try this underground thing? Well, you can have that and much more if you join us. I don't know, but I couldn't see Adam Sandler being in the Illuminati. I feel like there's certain people that, I mean, he is massive.
He's gotta be.
Really?
Yeah.
Sandman?
He's gotta be.
The Sandman.
Also though, like, do they get in car accidents where it's like Adam Sandler and Beyonce like get in a fender bender and they're like, sorry.
Yeah. There's only like a few cars on the road and they're all famous, like rich people.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, there's a lot to do with the Illuminati, but that's what we have for you right now.
This is just
We've talked about like if Slex could have his music just like skyrocket overnight by selling his soul, would he do it?
The answer is yes. No. There would be a lot of like I just know that there would be a lot of things I would have to change music wise that I probably wouldn't be down to do. So I wouldn't even be in that situation.
Not selling your soul.
Yeah. Yeah. The soul thing's easy. Yeah. So sign up. But if they want me to like do some like bullshit like bubblegum pop thing I don't want to do, that's where I draw the line. You need my blood? Yeah, whatever. But don't make me write like a pop country song.
Yeah.
Just because you think that would like be better for my demographic. No thanks. Anyway.
I wouldn't do it. I mean, there's no way I would be famous for anything really anyways, but I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't want to be like I'm like literally doing all this work to feel like I don't get held back by the man and like all the like outward like, you know, feedback that we always get of like, you need this to feel better about yourself and you need to do this and wear this. Like I'm doing all this work to not have that power over me. So like, why would I then let this like person be like, you can have money and power if you just like sell your soul? I'd be like, I don't want either of those things.
Eternal youth. Come on.
Also, no, you know,
Be a fox forever, babe. Sign
I will
up.
be. I'll just have wrinkles and it'll be fine.
Sign up, mama.
It'll literally be fine. So then we obviously have to come down to lizard people.
Oh, is lizard people next?
Lizard people's next.
Lizard people is one of my
so
favorite.
Right here.
So that goes hand in hand with Illuminati, but like allegedly, you know, there's like you've probably heard of it. There is a theory that there's like hybrid, like humanoid people / lizards. And we did a little research, and apparently former soccer player David Icke, which was that during, I didn't get the date. Like, was it like the 70s, 60s, 70s?
98 was his book.
Oh, okay. So a little bit later. So David Icke popularized the idea of lizard people in places of power. He wrote a book called The Biggest Secret, calling out rich people for being lizard people. And then we were watching this video. This is the president's thing too. Mm-hmm. We were watching this video that was really interesting. The guy, I forget the guy's name, but it was a really funny video, but he was making some interesting points where it's like one of the theories behind lizard people is that weirdly, a lot of like powerful people happen to be distant relatives of each other. Like strangely, like for instance, there's like tons of presidents who are distant relatives. Like Barack Obama was a relative, is like a, you know, his like great grandfather twice removed was like Benjamin Franklin, whatever. Or no, was Benjamin Franklin a president?
No.
Okay, let's say John Adams. It doesn't matter. The point I'm making is that a lot of like huge
presidents,
figures in politics are distant relatives, strangely. So that's like one supporting factor.
So
Benjamin
almost
Franklin
every
wasn't
president,
no, he wasn't.
Every president except for one is related, and they can all be traced back to this king of England, like way back in the 1600s or something.
That's insane.
It's insane, and like we probably are too, because
right, sure,
everyone's related to like everyone. So if you go back far enough, it doesn't seem that crazy to me that they would all be. We're probably related to them too.
And that's the argument on the other end of it, where it's like, okay, yeah, sure, Barack Obama is related to George Washington because so am I. You know what I mean, or whatever the argument is, but.
It is crazy though. Yeah.
It is crazy. Didn't this dude say that even like Trump is like a very, very distant relative from the Clintons? I think
it was Obama and Hillary Clinton.
I think it doesn't matter.
So they're all related. The lizard people, they might be lizard people. The idea with lizard people is that they either came from another planet to here or had already lived here, left, and came back. And they have the ability to drink human blood and then shapeshift into humanoids, like you said.
The human blood helps them shapeshift and also helps like keep them alive and youthful. It's very vampiric, if you will.
But they do have like thin blood, so they're always cold, and you know they like the sun, like it's like lizardy things.
Yeah,
they have green blue eyes and red hair.
Yep, those are like telltale signs of lizard people. Obviously, forked tongue. If you see a person with a forked tongue, look out.
I
and
know
if you see
someone
scales,
who met a lizard person.
Perhaps.
Apparently, she said that she had a mutual friend who brought her to hang out, bless you, with a lizard person, and this girl was like openly talking about how she's a lizard.
Yeah, but it sounds okay. So that instance kind of supports the next thing I'm going to say. For the longest time, I thought it was just like a funny, fun thing that like there's just people that happen to be lizards. I didn't know that there was also this evil agenda. I just thought literally there's like maybe some people that are like half lizard, you know,
Yeah.
and you can just like chillax with your homie who also happens to be cold-blooded. Can't get, you know, it can't be too cold for the guy. He's got to sleep on his heating rock or whatever. And to my point, your friend, the person you know, has a friend who's allegedly a lizard person.
No, not a friend.
A person you know. Oh no.
No, she's not friends with this person. She just met her.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Because you wouldn't just have a friend who's a lizard.
I mean, we have a crazy amount of crazy lunatics in high powerful places here. So if they are aliens, why would every single lizard person be a bad person?
There's
probably
probably good lizard
ones.
people. There's got to be good lizard people that reject, just like there's good vampires. They reject the overall agenda where they need to dominate humans, and maybe they met some friends that they really care about that happen to be human, and they don't want to drink human blood. So there's got to be good lizard people, guys.
Well, and apparently the royals were all lizard people too.
I thought,
well, that too. We'll talk about that later.
But
but apparently they also are all lizard people.
Yeah, I mean,
and apparently there was a picture of the queen changing. She was like green because she was turning into a lizard.
Maybe she was just sick.
Or maybe the picture's not real.
Maybe the picture's not real. Did you see the picture?
No.
Did she look like a lizard?
I think my mom did.
Yeah, I mean, the lizard thing.
Again, maybe all of this is real. I don't know. It's all interesting.
I don't know how surprised. I would be somewhat surprised if there were actually like lizard humanoids. But we talked about it in the space episode or whatever episode that was. They literally confirmed that there's been unidentified objects from space. So what's stopping a lizard race from coming down here and just chillaxing?
Oh, I found the picture.
Oh my God, that's
it.
That proves it. Yeah, I feel sheepish because I feel like some of my info is spotty because like we were just kind of like watching a bunch of videos and you know, but this is all speculation. We're just kind of spitballing. This is an open dialogue. Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
The next topic is at the DIA.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about the Denver International Airport conspiracies. You've probably heard of them, especially if you live in Colorado. But if you haven't, there's like this whole thing where there's this system of tunnels under the airport. Because the airport it's the biggest airport in the I don't know about the world, but in the U.S. I looked that up.
World.
Is it the world?
It was.
Or almost,
I don't know if it is still.
It's massive, and it's like out, like pretty far outside of the city, and it's on this huge plot of land. And allegedly, there is a huge tunnel system. And
there is.
What?
The tunnels do exist.
But the tunnels exist because there's trains that go through them. But apparently, a lot of them were originally built as like a bunker system for the elite, you know, people of the world to have a place to hide as refuge in the case of emergencies, nuclear, Holocaust, etc. The interesting thing is you got to ride on the train to go to different terminals, and a lot of times you'll see like turnoffs. You'll be cruising on the thing, and there's always turnoffs where it's like, what's down there? Mm-hmm. Granted, of course, that could just be like where they turn for like maintenance. You never know, but there's like a lot. You know what I mean?
Well, and we were watching this video, and it was supposed to be, when they were building it, they went $2 billion over budget.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to be
$2.8 billion, and it was $4.8 billion.
It's like $1 billion is so much money.
Let
it's
alone two.
Yeah, so much money. So to like go so far above your projected budget is wild.
And they don't really know like what that went to. And there were like workers that were commenting on like all of the underground things that they were building and stuff, the construction workers, and like didn't really know what it was for at the time.
Interesting.
It's funny because Denver, when you go there, they have signs around that are like, yeah, like we're a bunker, and like, yeah, conspiracy theories. Like they make fun of it now because so many people have commented, but I almost feel like they're commenting on it because it's real.
Well, that's kind of a genius technique to almost play into it. Yeah. So now that since you're making it so apparent and joking about it, people are going to be less suspicious.
Mm-hmm. And
not me, baby, not you, sweetheart.
Nope. Can't pull the wool over our eyes.
If we're gone, like I said, if we're gone next week,
we were right.
We were right.
The lizard people got us.
The lizard people got us.
Apparently, though, years back, President Obama was in Denver, like flew in just for the day when there was a worry that a comet was going to hit Earth. And he just happened to be in Denver.
You sure he didn't have like a meeting?
No.
At the Gaylord? The Gaylord didn't exist then.
It couldn't have been.
Couldn't have been the Gaylord. It didn't exist.
So that's
the Gaylord Convention Center. Great spot. Anyways.
Yeah. So that's like DIA. It's just very interesting. It's weird because they say, so apparently also, I remember reading this, there's like a plaque out front and it says that like a lot of money was donated from the New World Order. Like it literally says the New World Order. And so that feels weird.
You saw it or you just read about that?
I read about it.
Interesting. But also the whole place has like a weird vibe to it. Not all of it's weird because there's some dope ass spots like Terminal. Is it C?
Is sick.
C's amazing. There's like
go to the Bullet
there's like
Bar
a beer garden and
best kale salads
and great Bloody Marys. But we digress. It's kind of cursed because of that. One of the things is the Blucifer. Mm-hmm. That's the nickname of the massive blue horse statue. Right when you pull in, and it's got these glowing red eyes, and not allegedly, 100%. This isn't conspiracy. The sculptor that created it died because it fell on the sculptor and like severed an artery or something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this cursed statue. And it's all, honestly, objectively, it's like a cool statue, but it is like kind of demonic.
Why
it's
would
kind
you
of
have
screwed
red
up.
eyes when people are flying in from out of town? Like that's your first thing that you see?
Yeah, and I know it's like, the Denver Broncos, maybe they were trying to be like, it's like this kind of like intimidating horse because it's like, don't mess with us. But also it's like, you have this scary ass horse as like your big statue right in front. You think it would be something more lighthearted. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyways, there's a lot of...
Well, and they say that it's like the fourth chariot horse of
of hell. The Riders of Hell or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm getting all amped about this. Last thing. Remember, they've since gotten rid of them, but I remember this. I saw it with mine own eyes. Remember those crazy paintings?
Yeah.
There were so many really weird murals that was like almost, it was a lot of like, it looked like post-apocalyptic art with people with gas masks. It almost looked like Nazi-looking soldiers. Yeah. Of course, there were
death, like children, like all standing around a bunch of like dead caskets and like
it looked like a lot of death and a lot of like despair. They were very dark paintings, and it was like,
and again, right when you like walk in the airport,
like 100%, I remember it. They're not there anymore, though.
Yeah,
of course.
They are. And they've been redoing this airport. It's not even that old. It's been under construction the whole time. We lived there for 9 years, 15 years, it was under construction
They're always doing something.
the whole time. Even now, it's still under construction. And it's like, what are you doing?
Well, they actually did something at Terminal C because it's dope.
Sure, but like the main lobby area has been worked on the whole time. And it's already like a relatively new airport in the first place.
They always have partitions up in the main, like the security area, like different areas that are being worked on. It's like, when is this going to be done?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of the worst. I mean, I love Colorado and Denver, but flying in and out of DIA is a nightmare because of all the construction.
The security literally sucks.
Because security sucks.
If you're looking for a good airport to fly in and out of, Tampa, baby.
Tampa, baby.
Literally, they have multiple terminals where you go based on your gate to your own security.
And you can only get through the gate
if you have your ticket.
If the you literally, it's foolproof. You can't even go into the wrong terminal because your ticket needs to get you through. It's pretty dope.
Chef's kiss. Amazing job,
And it's
Tampa.
got that cute flamingo.
And we got a flamingo.
We got the cute flamingo.
Very welcoming.
We don't have a scary demon horse. Coming to Tampa.
That's DIA.
Next.
Back to the royals. So not apparently. King Charles is actually related, very far removed related to Vlad, the Impaler, who was way back in when, like, in the area of Transylvania, like Hungary, I think, like that whole area. He was a conqueror. Like his family, he was like a king basically, and his father was like a terrible person, and then the father and brother got killed, and then he took over, and he is the inspiration for Dracula, the story.
Like how he looked too, his bloodlust, but also his like, because he
dark features
and like the mustache and like the like thin. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, like pointed features.
Yeah, pointed features.
So he killed over 80,000 people throughout various means, and was said to.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
Go on.
And was
I never knew that.
To have dined surrounded by a forest of defeated warriors who were all writhing on impaled poles.
Like he had his dinner.
Yeah. And this is where he dipped his bread in the blood of his victims.
No.
They say. And so that's kind of like the Dracula drinking blood. It was his thirst for blood, like killing, basically. But he was like just taken over the Ottoman Empire back then.
Wow.
And so he is actually related to King Charles. King Charles has even said that that's his like past person. So people say that King Charles is a vampire.
I love this theory.
Because Vlad went by Dracula. Dracul was his father, which meant son of the dragon or something of the dragon. And so then Dracula was like son of the dragon. But since then, they've realized that dragon was actually, when translated, devil. So it was like son of the devil. So.
Wow.
Devil, vampire, bloodthirst, King Charles, lizard vampire, question mark.
Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, if they're drinking baby blood and all the things, then I guess that is kind of vampiric.
Lizard vampire, question mark? Comment below.
Yeah, comment below.
First, side note, shout to my wife for doing insane research on this whole thing. I'm over here like fumbling through, and she's like an expert on lizards, vampires, etc.
Yeah, but again, now my whole internet is just going to be
scary.
Scary.
You're probably flagged by the CIA.
I probably am flagged. They're probably listening to this right now.
They're like, we're going to take this woman down.
So now we're going to play a fun game. Illuminati or naughty. And this is a game where I'm going to give Slex 4 different celebrities, and he has to tell me if they are supposedly in the Illuminati or not.
Of course, supposedly, yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Miley Cyrus.
We already talked about this. Naughty, because she's a clone.
She still is. The clone would still be a
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay, so wrong. Next. Nick Cage. Nicolas Cage.
Definitely.
Lindsay Lohan.
No, because they like disgraced her because she refused to be in it.
No, they say she's in it.
What?
Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, she's such a sweetheart.
She's a sweetheart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she came up.
It was really hard to find anyone that's not. So
All four?
All four are, yeah.
Jennifer Hudson was the curveball because I was like, she's such a sweet little thing. But
well, because she said like, no, of course I'm not. She like backed way off saying she's not.
But then her eyes like went lizard.
Well, no. So they think that she still is. So all four of them. Maybe Lindsay Lohan like had like, she was like, I'm going to leave. And they're like, well, then we'll definitely
screw your life up.
Ruin you. And then she came back. So yeah, they're all Illuminati. I literally couldn't find anybody.
I love that game. That's fun. That's hilarious. All right.
Okay. Actually, Zac Efron apparently isn't, as I mentioned, because of his jaw.
Yeah, I mean,
because
hypothetically.
he's such a sweet guy.
Well, I feel
I
like there was
Zac
another.
Zac Efron, if you watch this.
Aren't there like,
Come on our show.
Isn't Channing Tatum maybe not? Because his whole like the Blink Twice thing.
That's true.
I don't want to get into Blink Twice, but watch that thing. That is a crazy movie.
It's crazy.
Very cool movie.
Okay, so now we're going to end on, well, not end, but our next game. HWDYKYP.
How well do you know your partner? Oh, wait, should we? Close up. Nice.
Okay, so
okay.
Our first question.
This is wild.
So we talked lizard people, so you're kind of like a half lizard, half human.
Yes.
We're going to ask Slex, we're going to write down
Slexy boy.
If Slex could be half animal, half human, what animal would he choose?
Not a lizard person. It has to be a different.
Yeah, not a lizard.
Okay. And wait. Is this just like, it's any, let me just get some details here. Is this just like any animal, or do I still have the same like kind of advantages of like world domination, etc. As a lizard person, or I'm literally just half like.
Well, no, yeah,
animal.
You can gain power because you're a half animal.
Okay, cool. Okay.
You have an
Good.
advantage.
All right, cool, perfect. I know exactly. The second I knew it.
I know
Ready?
I'm wrong. 1, 2, 3. Cheetah.
Shark. Oh, cheetah's cool.
I was thinking bird because then you could have like high vantage points and like drop in on
like
meetings
half
and
like
stuff.
hawk,
Yeah.
half hummingbird. It'd be like small and fast.
Yeah.
Nah, I've always liked sharks, and plus now I can like be aquatic.
Yeah, but you're not gonna like hear any meetings.
Yeah, but I'm half
underwater.
Yeah, but think about the traveling benefits of being part shark.
That's true.
I don't know.
They could also just take you out of the water and be like,
I didn't know I had to consider the meetings. I thought it would just be like what animal I want to be.
All right, shark. So we're wrong.
You're not going to hear any meetings.
If I got to a place where I got to be in the New World Order and a big one hits, and so we all get locked underground, right?
In DIA.
Who would I want to be my Illuminati roommate?
In the DIA bunker.
Yeah, in the DIA bunker, in the Denver International Airport bunker.
This is especially hard because I was excited about this question because I was like, it's obviously going to be Beyonce. And literally Elyse said, just so you know, it's not Beyonce. And I was like, damn it.
I knew he was going to think it was Beyonce. And I love Beyonce, obviously. But with all this stuff coming out about her power and like Jay-Z, I'm just like a little nervous about like bunking with her, to be honest. I must stay on her good side, but you know. Also, does she have a good sense of humor? She seems kind of serious.
She seems so serious.
If I'm locked up underground and the world is ending, I want somebody funny.
She was Foxy Cleopatra in Goldmember, and she did great.
That was like 20 years ago.
That's true. She lost her sense of humor since then.
She had kids and...
Right. That'll suck the life out of you. Wait, before you do it, my question is as follows. This has to be someone that like technically could qualify, because I was thinking, like maybe JVN, but no, it has to be
JVN.
like,
yeah, he wouldn't.
But he wouldn't be big enough. It has to be like big time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I've been thinking about this all day, literally.
I think I know who. All right, I think I got this one.
3, 2,
2, 1.
1.
Ellen.
Ariana Grande. I literally
The-
thought Ellen, but with her whole thing too lately, I'm like,
Lately, you mean like in the past?
yeah.
But I thought you didn't believe all that.
I don't really believe it, but she seems like her light is gone from all of it. So I'm not going to lift her up when we're already heavy into it. Ariana
Maybe she's just who
could sing
just
me
who she
wicked
needs.
songs, and she has a great sense of humor on SNL.
Do you think she's in the Illuminati?
Yeah. Absolutely. But I think she's like a good Illuminati member, you know?
Few notes. Elyse used to hate's a strong word, but she used to not
No,
prefer.
I really disliked her a lot.
We don't want to say hate in case this podcast blows up. She used to not prefer Ariana Grande, and now since Wicked, she like loves. All right.
Obsessed. I literally used to talk shit about her every time she came up, and now I like sing all of her songs. Like her Christmas song, I was always like, oh, this thing again. And now this year I was like, let's go.
Yeah. Santa baby.
Yeah.
And the Ellen thing, even amidst, ooh, that was a good word. Amidst all of Ellen's, like all those allegations, Elyse was like, she stood firm with Ellen.
I'll stand firm with Ellen, but again, she seems like her light is very dim. And so I don't want to have to like pull her with me when I'm also struggling with underground depression.
Her most recent special, it was great, but it definitely didn't slap as hard as some of her past specials because I think exactly she's like kind of battling through that dimness. Yeah. All right. That was a good guess though, Ellen.
Yeah, not
Thank
bad.
you.
I thought Ellen too, so we were on the same page. Okay. We're going to do this for both of us. What conspiracy could Slex get behind out of all the ones that we talked about today and maybe like others that we've talked about
today? What could I get behind?
Today and like in past? Or just today?
No, I want today. Yeah, because
okay,
we talked about some really good ones. Wait, let me just have a quick scan of everything. Definitely not the flat earth. I'll tell you that much. Sorry. Sorry, flat earthers. I'm sure you're good people. Just don't believe with that. I don't, I'm not on the same boat, y'all. Okay, so wait, what can I get behind? Like I believe it, or
like
I'm
you join the group.
Damn it. Oh, sorry, I need a lot of like specifications here. I would join the crew of people believing it, or I would like join the crew, like
join the crew. So you'd like become a lizard person, or you would like become an Illuminati-ist,
or become King Charles,
a flat
the
earther,
vampire.
or like, yeah, really like join the groups like marching against the royals because you think that the king is a vampire. Or like dive deep into the DIA to like follow the tunnels to see what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
DIA.
Illuminati.
I just like I can't commit to wanting to be a part of it. But
for sure, but I feel like if Chris Hemsworth was like, brother,
join me.
Like, listen, mate, it's really good. Come with me. You'd be like, okay.
With the right incentives, maybe I'd join.
Or like if Dua Lipa like wanted you to like join in with
I'll
her,
be your best friend,
and I'm dead.
She's like, I'll do a collab with you. Why would you be dead in this scenario?
The big one hit.
If you die, I'll join.
I'm the only thing holding your humanity together. You hear that? I'm the only thing.
I need her. No, the DIA thing, I think it's close to my heart because we lived in Denver for so many years. It's really intriguing. And I believe that there's some wild shit going on there. So that's the one I'm on board with.
Okay, cool. All right, my turn.
Okay.
You
get to do it too?
What would I get behind? Yeah.
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1.
King Charles. Damn it.
I'm coming with, baby.
Yeah. Let's explore it together.
Yeah.
I say King Charles because you've always been really interested in the royal family, and I think you also are interested in vampires, so I thought you were just like you would just jump on board.
Here's the thing. King Charles famously loves the environment, loves the earth, and like grows his own vegetables. I feel like vampires aren't doing that.
A lot of vampires love the earth and environment.
Guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but vampires don't give a shit about vegetable. That's a good point. I said that
and
weird.
He's out in the sun
Vegetables.
a lot. So if anything, he is a lizard person. He's not a vampire.
Lizard person, not vampire. Maybe a hybrid though? Lizard vampire? Thoughts?
Lizards also have red hair and light eyes. He has dark features. His son, however, Harry, I'm looking at you.
Red hair. His eyes are always a different color.
Yeah.
Scales.
Split tongue,
scales.
Okay, so lastly, we have fact or fiction. Slexy boy is going to try to trick me. A little trickery. And I'm going to show him I'm smart. And I'm going to get it right.
I have a super fun one, y'all. So we're going to do this. Don't look, please. I'm just pulling up my phone for a supporting literature. So usually we'll just say it's like fact or fiction, true or false. We're going to do a little different. This is actually multiple choice.
Okay.
So
cool.
Many moon landing I know we talked about moon landing in the past, but whatever. This is my fact. Many moon landing conspiracy theorists claim that the footage was fabricated by, naturally, a qualified Hollywood director.
Mm-hmm.
Which prominent Hollywood director at the time is the one that they speculate did the directing?
Okay.
So mind you, the moon landing was 1969.
Okay.
So which director are conspiracy? Had it been directed, which one are they saying? Is it A, Alfred Hitchcock, B, Stanley Kubrick, C, Orson Welles, or D, Roman Polanski?
This is fun. Or who was the second one?
Is it A, Alfred Hitchcock, B, Stanley Kubrick?
Kubrick.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Hey.
Why did you say that?
It sounded right in my head.
Well, that's a fucking great guess because
I'm so sorry.
let me read this. Moon landing. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry. I'm just trying to skip all the fat. I'm going to cut out the fat here. Okay. Assume that the moon landing, as you know it, did not really happen. No one went to space. No one walked on the moon, and certainly no one planted an American flag on the surface of Earth's little buddy. Oh, that's cute. Second, remember that Stanley Kubrick directed 2001: A Space Odyssey, which came out in 1968, the year before U.S. supposedly landed on the moon. The theory goes that NASA, having assumed Kubrick would be good at making a Hollywood set look like the moon, hired him to film and direct the moon landing, which would be broadcast on television. Believers think Kubrick dropped hints about his involvement in The Shining, which itself is so allegedly full of symbolism that there's an entire documentary about it. However,
what does he say? How are there signs in that?
I don't know. That's all it says on here, and now I want to watch The Shining to see if there's signs. However, in 2016, Kubrick's daughter called the theory a grotesque lie.
Is he dead?
I think so. Is Stanley Kubrick dead? Is Stan Kubrick dead? But, I mean, if I was going to hire anyone.
Is Stanley Kubrick dead?
Stanley Kubrick dead?
Yeah.
When did he die?
1999.
Interesting. I think that's a fun fact because obviously it's all a conspiracy. However, it's like if you're going to be faking this massive thing and it's the government doing it, you have a ginormous budget. So you might as well hire the best of the best to put on the production and make something just absolutely fire.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Stan Kubrick.
Thank you for all your work.
Thanks for your service. Yeah, so that's my fact.
That's a good fact.
You guessed it right too.
So this is just some of the conspiracy theories that are going around right now. I'm sure I'll get many videos fed to my feed about from looking at this. So we'll have a part 2. If you have any conspiracies that you know about, if you've met a lizard person, hit us up.
And also a lot of this is, we tried to do our research. A lot of this is off the dome. So if you have any comments, corrections, etc., let us know. And of course, we're going to try to clear anything up in the next episode. So you got to watch it, baby.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to
We Don't Know Anything.
And we'll see you soon.
See you next time. Thank you. Stay safe out there, conspiracy theorists.
Literally, careful.
All right, peace.